Everyone, in this video I want to talk about the recent pre-trial ruling about claims of supposed copyright infringement of David LaChapelle's images used in Rihanna's music video under the title of S&M. Effectively what the judge has done is said, yes, you can actually go to court with this because I think there is definitely an infringement problem going on here. So if you don't know what's going on here, what happened is David LaChapelle, very famous photographer, probably considered as one of the greats of modern day bonkers photography. Type in David LaChapelle and his images are amazing. I've bought one of his books somewhere and it's just bonkers. Really cool. And anyway, Rihanna in her music video has done lots of shots which look very much like a part of a David LaChapelle photo shoot. And when I say looks a lot like, I mean it looks a lot like. Not kind of like, oh yeah, that's the same kind of idea. It's like, no. That's this. Were they on the same set doing the same shot? And anyway, David LaChapelle's gone, wait a minute, that's exactly my idea. You never asked me to do this shot. You haven't credited me. You haven't even said inspired by me or anything. It's like, hold on, and you ain't giving me any money, so how about get over here, let's have some court battle. So what this is going to do, this is going to be the first kind of copyright, well, there's been a couple other claims, but this is going to be a high-flying, high-profile one, where somebody's really having to prove copyright infringement, which is actually quite a difficult thing to do. They're going to explain what constitutes as copyright and also what explains as copyright infringement. And is it infringement? Is it fraud? Is it plagiarism? And also, is it the copyright of the idea or is it something more than the way the things were done? What the hell's going on? Okay, what I'll do is I'll just go through some of the quotes that the Judge Shira Schindlin from New York has said here. And she said, to prove copyright infringement, the plaintiff is David LaChapelle. He's the guy that is making the complaint, as a plaintiff. He says, he has to prove a valid copyright must demonstrate that number one, the defendant has copied, defendant being Rihanna, defendant has copied David LaChapelle's work, and two, the copying is illegal because a substantial similarity exists between the defendant's work and the protectable elements of the plaintiff. Now, that's where it's like, what is the protectable elements of the plaintiffs? What can be copyrighted? Is it an idea? Is it the concept of a shot? Or is it the model or the position? Or what is it that's actually being copyrighted here? So straight off the bat, this is not like, oh, I've taken a picture of a sunset. Oh, I'm going to copyright that. You can't take that. No, but if somebody did take a photo of your sunset that you'd taken a photo of, and they said that was, oh, it's my own work, and never said anything about you at all, then yeah, that is copyright infringement. They have stolen your work. However, the special thing about David LaChapelle's work is that his things are completely created. They're all like well orchestrated, staged studio work or even location, but like badass location. Like he's created a whole bloody town to do these kind of photos. Shira then goes on and says, copyright protection may extend only to those components of a work that are original to the author. So again, the author, as in David LaChapelle, he's got to somehow prove that they were original to him. And she said, so this means that only that the work was independently created by the author, as in David LaChapelle, and it possesses at least some minimal degree of creativity. So again, because nobody owns the sunset, because nobody owns the street, because nobody owns just a picture of a house, nobody can copyright that. This is where that is in the public domain, or that is somebody's owning, or something, that's somebody's thing that anybody can take photos of. But these things, which is what David LaChapelle's done, he has created them, full stop. And here's where it gets even more confusing and complicated and impossible to understand, is when it's talking about, it's not the idea itself that has been copied or broken or infringed upon its copyright, but it's here it says, the expression of the idea. So, effectively, what this is all about is in the music video by Rihanna, which is called S&M, I've got it over here, there's a bit where she's in a pink room, and there. So I've got pink, stripy room, a man bound up in tape, stripy outfits, lots of weird things, table over there. Okay, it's hard to find the exact point, but if we have a little look here, at this shot here, okay, what we've got is Rihanna in a pink room with two windows at the back with a blazing sunset coming out there with a kind of leopard print floor, man bound on the floor with duct tape, people with giant afro hairs, all that kind of stuff. Let's go to David LaChapelle's shot, and we've got women with a giant afro, pink room, lots of stripes, man bound on the floor. We've even got an element over there, and we've got the thing in the background of the windows of a sunburst and all that kind of stuff. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. This isn't just a copying of an idea. So the idea here, the initial concept of David LaChapelle's shot is the idea of, hold on, I have to quote this one, a choreographed S&M inspired scene of women dominating men in a fanciful domestic space. Okay, whew, that's a concept if ever I've heard one. Let's hear that again. A choreographed S&M inspired scene of women dominating men in a fanciful domestic space. Ooh, okay, so that is the idea. So I could go and do a photo shoot of that. If I said, I want to do exactly what David LaChapelle's done, I want to make a concept of a photo which is an S&M inspired scene of women dominating men in a fanciful room. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing stopping me or anyone doing anything like that. We can happily go and do that. But I would have to go make my own room, make my own models, put them in their own positions, think about the background, think about the lighting, think about the angle, the camera, the focus, the exposure, how the man is going to be dominated and all that stuff. So anyway, that's the stuff that David LaChapelle has created. His created is the overall, the final result, which is man on the ground, bound, tape round him, pink room, stripy wallpaper, with women with the afro, couple, like 3 people in there, 2 windows at the back with a sunburst. And if you go to the Rihanna video, oh shit, pretty much exactly the same there. The copyright here is like, you haven't just stolen his idea, you have absolutely copied it almost step for step, and not given credited. Not given any credit, or even said inspired by, or even asked David LaChapelle to help you make the video. Which kind of makes either Rihanna's music video director pretty kind of lame, because he can't think of his own ideas. And it even goes as far, the judge here even goes as far as to say, look, the initial concept of choreographed S&M inspired scene of women dominating men in a fanciful room, the flow from that, if that's a concept, the flow from that can naturally have, both works obviously depict women in a living room with a man bound on the floor. That's okay, because these subjects flow naturally from the chosen idea. These are not protectable. So I could even do a photo shoot with a man bound on the floor with women in the room making it a living room. But where you really are infringing copyright is when both works, or whenever you've copied it so that it's both in a hot pink room with white striped walls, 2 single hung windows in the middle of the back, windows with glossy hot pink casings, and interior framework, with opaque panes exhibiting a half vector pattern of stripes against a yellow background. A solid hot pink ceiling, hot pink baseboards, a hot pink couch under the windows, women wearing frizzy red wigs, a woman posed on top of a piece of furniture, black tape wrapped around a man, and generally frantic mood. Moreover, it also has, both works are well lit and intensely saturated, with all the details in sharp focus and almost no shadows. So the judge here has got a good eye for detail. Well done, judge. So the defendant, as in Rihanna or her music director guy, said, no, you can't sue us on this. It's all right, because it's like fair use policy. Now, fair use policy and copyright. That's what everyone watching this video, that's what you want to know. What the chuff is fair use? Now, you've always got to remember that in America and Europe, there are different terms and there's also different restrictions. However, on the internet, where does it go? I don't know. So, for me just now, it's okay for me to put the photo of David LaChapelle over to the side and the screen grab of the shot from the music video, because I'm using in fair use. And the term here is, the concept of fair use says the fair use of a copyrighted work, which is what both of these bits are here, for a purpose such as criticism, ding, comment, ding, news, ding, reporting and teaching, scholarship or research is not an infringement of copyright. Ta-da! So that means pretty much anyone, like even in my photo critiques, when people are sending me their stuff, I don't actually need you to say, I hereby give Don Bauer the right to use my photos for blah, 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 because I'm using your photos for comment, criticism, teaching. So that's where the fair use policy comes in. Well, certainly it does in America. So Rihanna's judge, or Rihanna's lawyer, dumbass here, he says, oh yeah, well, we thought it was fair use policy because we're using it to criticize how Rihanna is treated by the press and comment on a relationship between the media, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like going, that's got nothing to do with the idea of fair use. So some of you may be thinking, oh my god, does this mean that if I create a shot, does that mean if I have made a photo shoot and somebody else copies it, I can sue them? Or if I do a photo shoot and it looks very much like what somebody else has done, does that mean they could sue me for what I've done? Well, there's a couple of things here. One, if you've done it for an educational purpose, say you're at university or college, then it doesn't matter because you're doing it for teaching or learning. If, on the other hand, you looked at the image for inspiration and thought, I like that idea, and then gone and made your own shot, that's absolutely fine. But here, there are so many elements that are completely copied, all from the background to the wallpaper, to the colour, to the lighting, to everything. So again, if I did a photo, for example, let's see that one in the background, a woman standing in a graveyard with lots of people on the ground and all that kind of stuff. If somebody copied that, I can't say, oh, wait, you've copied my stuff, because that location that was used there was a natural location. Anyone can go there. And the people that I used, anyone can use them. I haven't paid for their makeup, I haven't organised their positioning. Well, actually, okay, I organised their positioning and I organised the lighting. And I also did a bit of the editing. So, in the end, anyone could go and replicate that image, and I wouldn't be able to say, no, that looks just like mine, I'm going to sue your ass off. It doesn't work like that. It's when you've copied it almost bit for bit, and that's the case of David LaChapelle stuff, is that his shots are studio-based shots, and it's something which he's had to create every single part of and choreograph where the people are in the shot, and even like how they're tied up and taped up and all that kind of stuff. So taking a shot of the sunsets, don't worry about it. Even if you do something like landscape photography and you've seen somebody taking an amazing photo of an amazing landscape, you go, I want to get a shot as good as that. You can go to exactly the same place, get the GPS coordinates, whatever, use the same camera, use the same lens, take the photo. You're not infringing on any copyright because it's a natural scene. It's something which is there that anyone can use. However, one of the good comments I got here of DP Review here, somebody says, absolutely brilliant comment here by Discreet Consign. He says, it seems that some people posting on this forum think that if I publish Lord of the Bracelets, a story about a nobbit named Frodo destroys Sauron's one bracelet, that wouldn't count as copyright infringement. Well, yes it would. And that's what this guy, Discreet Consign, is saying here. But some people are just going, oh my god, this is so stupid. David LaChapelle shouldn't be allowed to sue about this because it's, you know, the greatest source of flattery. No, it's not. It's not a source of flattery when somebody hasn't credited you. Greatest source of flattery is going up to David LaChapelle and saying, David, I love your stuff. Would you be the video director for this? Or will you help us create scenes which you think are as creative and as cool as the stuff that you've done already? And consulting with him at least. But to actually just steal his ideas and say, look, here's my music video which I've made, and just go, wait a minute, that is exactly like some of the photos or images that have been created by somebody else. That's not flattery, that's just pure theft, and just like a bit thick. Just like, Christ guys, make up your own ideas. And even if it's not making up your own ideas, don't copy it bit for bit, as in pink roof with windows and all that kind of stuff. So in the end, the question is David LaChapelle right to sue? Hell yes he is. I would say 99% of the other times when anybody wants to sue because somebody's tried to copy their idea, it's absolute bullshit. You just cannot, it's like, no, shut up. Somebody's used your idea, but it's an idea, you can't copyright an idea. But as the judge here says, it's the expression of the idea. It's the final result, the expression of how you do it. And if somebody copies it word for word, bit for bit, I say, yeah, that is out of order. And it further goes on to the idea of, like, if I were doing portrait shots and I have a woman standing like that, does that mean I'm infringing on somebody's copyright of whenever they've taken another photo of a woman going like that? No, because that is a natural flow of the image of a portrait of a person doing a modelling shot. But it's when you're making such a creative, bonkers image where you're having to put so much effort into it and make it much more than just a photo, then if somebody copies it, then yes, that is... I forgot where my line of thought was on that one. So in the end, what it is that this is only a pre-trial ruling. So the judge has pretty much just said to them, like, actually, yeah, there is something dodgy here, you can take it to trial. So this is like the first stage of a very long process. However, what will the outcome be of this? Well, will it mean loads of publicity for David LaChapelle and for Rihanna? Yes, so it's like win-win both situations there. Was Rihanna the video director, and was she like this set director as well? So is it her that's in trouble, or is it her video maker? And if it is her video maker, that's a real loss for them, because everyone's going to go look at them and go, we don't want to do a video with you because A, you copy other artists and don't involve them and don't credit them, and potentially you're going to get me into a lawsuit. No thanks. Or is this just a complete massive publicity stunt, and it is actually just to get them loads of attention and media coverage? I don't think that is the case. I think this is a legitimate case where a photographer has been ripped off and not credited or even mentioned in any way, and it's time for photographers to get some power back and sue the ass off people who infringe our rights. However, what you've got to remember that this right is a pretty minute right. 99% of the time, I don't think any photographer has a chance with anything, but here it's pretty obvious. Tell me what you think down below. Cheers, bye bye.